Hi, you. It's me, Nicole Phoenix Star, and this is the Nick Star podcast. Hello. I have called this podcast Life and Death Stuff because that's what's in the field at the moment. I follow a practice of non-duality, which essentially is the practice of soul work, which is you have an eternal soul that is currently contained in a human body, and one day that soul will release the human body and morph on to the next iteration, whatever that may be. And, it's not being attached to the human form and really recognizing the conditions of the human experience primarily as an illusion, as well as at the same time recognizing the human experience for what it is and being able to optimize that in its entirety by, experiencing all that this life thing has to offer, the full spectrum of emotions and feelings and experience, lived experience. And recognizing, that within that it can be quite the dichotomy and quite a contradiction at times. Yet, if you're able to recognize, that reality, then it's the experience of liberation for the soul in the human experience. So I yesterday got some news that a guy I know in Bali that is, look, I've probably known him for 11 years, that he died yesterday. And it was really shocking because I would say him, somewhere between 40 and 42, and a really, really, really big personality, one of those really big personalities that leaves imprints on people. And he's had like a very full life. And so, I don't know, like it's so fascinating. Quite often when people die young that have had a really full life, it's, I don't know, like it's like they just got so much done in that time, and people are really sad because, they die so young, but they do more than, the average person does in 100 years. And I don't know, it's just acknowledging that in a way that, I don't know, it's just like this guy, he he was just such a sweet, gentle giant that was completely covered in tattoos. He had a really, really eclectic past. He used to be like a drug lord in Canada when he was younger, and that just turned into a mess when he was younger, which, is no surprise. And he decided to change his life dramatically, and he moved to Bali and completely transformed his life. Like, he ran so many different charities, he had several businesses, and Um, in 2021, I think, he had a really horrific motorcycle accident, like full-blown near-death experience. Took him a year to walk again. He was like really hardcore accident that, like, I think he had a broken back. Um, yeah, he was out of it for a really, really long time, and he built himself back up. And it took a few hours to find out how he passed, and then I found out that he had passed um, via a heart attack, and again, it's like so young, but his body had been through so much stress in his short life that, although it is shocking, it's not surprising that horrific amounts of trauma do take their toll. And, he was super clean and super healthy for, a really long time, but particularly, extreme trauma to the body through almost dying, and probably, I think he actually did die a couple of times and was revived and stuff. That sort of stress on your body is really impactful in the damage it can cause. And, when you are young, even if you do recover, you may not be aware of the damage that is in your organs and things like that. So, yeah, it's really, really been a myriad of emotions and feelings, and allowing the human experience of feeling all of that without dropping into attachment or, you know, um, getting lost in the loops of story and things. And I realized that it was a year and one day um, apart from a couple that I knew that passed also very young in Bali a year ago now, and they were passed in a landslide. Like, there was crazy weather, and there was this huge landslide that just covered their villa. And when they pulled off everything, they were lying next to each other in bed. And obviously, like, the landslide came at night when they were asleep, and they didn't make it out. And yeah, and they were both in their super early 40s. Um, really big bright lights. And yeah, it's a really um, evoking time that makes you kind of be aware of your own human mortality, and um, the fickleness of taking life for granted and wishing things to be different, and just not honoring the life we have. It just brings it right into your face. And um yeah, it's just been a bit of a journey. And today I've just gotten back from going to the doctors with my father, because we are on a little bit of a journey together. He has ulcerative colitis, which is known as UC, and it is it's an incurable um bowel disease, and he's had it for 12 years, and he's had um a lot of health chaos with that, and it's been a huge journey. He's turning 77 in a couple of weeks. And you know when I first got the vision of coming back to Australia, I had this vision over and over and over again of me in my parents' kitchen. And I didn't quite know what that meant. I didn't know whether I was going there as a carer. And, when it first started happening, I kept shutting it down because the last thing I wanted to do was move back to Australia. Um, Not because I didn't want to care for my aging parents, but just the whole idea of it at the time was what I thought I didn't want. But here we are, loving living in Australia. Anyway, so I kept having these visions of me in my parents' kitchen, and eventually I kind of stopped pushing that away and went into it. And a couple of months ago, no, in early January, no, it wasn't early January, it's mid-January. Anyway, I found myself in my parents' kitchen going through their fridge, their freezer, their pantry, and taking stock of all the ingredients of everything that was in there and what he eats and when he eats it, and finding all the hidden dairy and all the hidden gluten and all the hidden ingredients that he was unaware were causing stress in his colon and his digestion and creating these flare-ups in his um, with his disease. And so I then went through and I showed him all these things, and rather than changing his diet completely, we found substitutes that weren't going to aggravate him, and worked out a meal plan for him and went shopping with them and did a meal plan for my mom, who also wanted to clean up her eating a little bit and lose a little bit of weight. And she's lost nearly 7 kilos, which is amazing. And she's really happy about it. But yeah, like just keeping the things he likes, but finding a substitute that works for him and might even be beneficial. Having too much fiber in his diet creates chaos, and working out how to have similar meals but different, because my mum needs lots of fiber because she's a mature lady and does not have a bowel disease. And so rather than eating the same thing, eating similar things, but a few different ingredients and just making it really simple for them. And anyway, so I realized that, and when I was standing there, it was the exact same vision, me doing that. And I just was like, wow, we never know what these things mean. It wasn't me, a live-in carer or anything. It was me optimizing their diet and just making subtle, significant changes that have made massive difference for both of them. Anyway, so in my continual research and support, I found that a really, really beneficial thing to do is to get a plasma transfer. And because I am a picture of health and have a metabolic age of 38, and all my numbers are startling, I sat down with him and said, I would like to offer a plasma transfer from me to you, to assist with your UC disease and your general health, and as a way to support you with this, putting a big injection of premium fuel into you. There's a very great chance it's going to really shift things for you and give you a better quality of life. And he um he was really into that. And so we went to the doctors today to discuss that, because first of all, we needed to get his blood type to make sure that our plasma is a match, because he can't remember his blood type. and get a letter to say that he has UC and is a candidate for a plasma transfer, and she thought it was an amazing idea. She even talked about contemplating a fecal transfer, which she she was really funny in saying, I'm like, oh my God, I know all about this. I've watched some videos and I've watched a documentary on people with bowel disease getting people with really healthy poop ultimately, and doing a transfer because it's full of really healthy microbiome. And if you do that um, through a rectal transfer, or some people even do encapsulation where, they are able to put the poop into capsules and you can just swallow them and it goes directly into your gut. And it is just like the most insane microbiome diverse medicine that you could ever possibly do. And she said people have been getting incredible results, like haven't had any flare-ups or and their bowel disease has even gone into remission. And she said incredible results. And Dad's sitting there going, I have to eat your poo now. And I went, no, you don't have to eat my poo. I said, let's just start with the plasma. I said, but that is actually a really amazing idea. And it's completely invasive, like non-invasive. Um, and he's sitting there going, oh my God. And I said, we're on this huge journey together for me to support you. And I'm always been out there and a little bit different. He's like, yeah, you have. I said, so we have started these steps to a plasma transfer from me to him. So hopefully we're a match. I mean, it's a good chance we are. There's one blood type that I can't remember. I've done so much research. There's so many things spinning around. Um, I'm an O positive, so there's only one blood type that isn't a match for a plasma transfer. Um, and yeah, we have the letter. He gave blood this morning to find out his blood type. And then we need to take the next step if he is a match so that they can remove a big bag of plasma from me and give it a direct transfer to him to enhance the quality of his life. And maybe even step towards finding a place of remission for something that's been a massive, massive part of his life for, well over a decade. And as he kind of walks towards 80, it may be the very thing that really gives him a completely different quality of life. He's been able to reduce quite a lot of his medication from just the changes in his diet. And this is our little journey right now, and it's my offering, and it's a really special thing, and it's not what I expected. It's not what I thought was going to happen, and I'm just thrilled that it is. So sitting deep today in the spectrum of life and death and how we can live life, and have this human experience. And that's what I wanted to share with you. So, that's all I have today. Please feel free to share this with anyone that you may feel be of benefit. My website is www.nickstar.com, and NIKSTARR. Oh, Lordy. All right, my love. Bye. Mwah.